John Kramer is back, the most disturbing installment of the Saw franchise yet explores the untold chapter of Jigsaw's most personal game. Set between the events of Saw 1 and 2, a sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. Armed with a newfound purpose, the infamous serial killer returns to his work, turning the tables on the con artists in his signature visceral way through devious, deranged, and ingenious traps. How do you like it, Sultan? I think for all its inanities, Saw 10 should hit the bar for the like minded. The traps are disgusting, the plot so self serious it's absurd, and unlike the sundry sequel before it, this one manages to make you feel something beyond gross out adrenaline, assuming you have affection for the franchise's mainstays. The first Saw movie, released in 2004 and written by the fresh faced creative team of James Wan, who also directed, and Lee Vanell, was an aging novelty, unleashing one of the most sordid trends in Hollywood horror, so called torture porn, and unintentionally nude to the war on terror's abuse military detainees. It's a strange existential feeling to be seated in front of a soft film once again, a return not just to a franchise but an entire torture porn subgenre. As a screaming woman is forced to cut off her leg and suck out of a liter of blood from her fresh wound in order to save her head from being sliced off by severed wire, one might start wondering the hows and whys of what got us here. This film is an interesting way back into the series, and while the latter sequels had become vaguer and often pettier about the subjects were being tested, there is a much clearer plan here, and given how abhorrent the con is, a stranger dramatic pull. The relative lack of horror in the first half might be a test for some, but it's strangely more magnetic than the mayhem that comes after. Bell, a more careful and studied actor than his most closely associated the role has pigeonholed him as. At the end, I think it might be somewhat better than the lowest of the franchise, but there is really nothing here to justify why we are being dragged back to the horrors of the 2000s. I think we have seen enough. We need something new here.